Dude, we already did this bit.
Come on!
Meet Kent, Ryan, and Terry. We're just three random dudes with YouTube channels who get together every Saturday morning where we celebrate the two constants in our lives that bring us a daily dose of serenity. Coffee and Star Wars. We call it JavaJawaJaw.
All right, guys, we're back with another episode of JavaJawaJaw. I've got Terry, I've got Kent, and we have a whole army of droids to talk about Season 7, Episode 1 of Clone Wars.
Woo!
Hype.
Yes.
Hype.
Finally.
It's only been 6 years.
It's back.
Right?
Has it been 6 years?
I looked it up. 6 years.
Feels like a lot longer.
It feels like it's like a lot of cycles around a moon.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? So 6 years since we saw the last season of Clone Wars, which was season 6, where in fact, and that one was like Anakin and Padme were having their little love drama thing going on in that with the banking clans, and there was a big mess in there.
Yeah.
And so now we've moved on to season 7, so we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, we actually have coffee.
Yeah, we do.
We went to a new joint today, and I took these guys to somewhere new called Amelie's.
It's new to us.
Yeah, and what'd you think, Kent?
It was good.
Right?
I enjoyed mine. It's all gone. I don't got any.
I still have some.
I still have some.
We got some macaroons. We got some pastries. Got some croissants. You saw the footage in the intro. Super cool place.
I got an awesome tartine, which is like an open-faced French pastry kind of a sandwich with this amazing Gruyere cheese and
right.
And mushrooms, wild mushroom mix.
I saw everything
Delicious.
had 0 calories too.
Right.
None whatsoever. I'm not getting fat.
0.
You're getting fat.
It's the camera.
Yeah.
It's the camera.
The camera had said pounds. It certainly isn't my diet.
I saw a clip. This is totally tangent, but I saw a clip of one comedian talking to another comedian. He says, I heard the camera puts on like 10 pounds. He goes, you must have 10 cameras pointed at you right now.
Ooh.
I was like, that's rough, man.
That's hard.
Those comedians,
really, really
they're
hard.
harsh. But we've got Season 7 of Clone Wars here, which is a lot of interesting things we're going to talk about today. Number one being Bad Batch. Bad Batch.
Now, neither one of you guys had watched this. Now, first thing we probably ought to bring up is that this whole storyline, all the episodes were released 2-3 years ago,
Right.
4 years ago,
Right.
as animatics, as like just straight up storyboards.
Unfinished work.
Yeah.
Right.
All the dialogue had been recorded. So
Yeah.
I know what happens. I'm not telling you guys.
Spoiler.
But I know what happens. You guys have not seen it though, right?
So you've had Force visions of the future?
No.
Yeah, exactly. It had been a while since I'd seen it, so most of it had escaped my brain. I knew that, spoilerific stuff here, but I knew that Echo was going to be part of the story, but for some reason my brain had retconned it so that he was part of the Bad Batch.
Oh.
I have no idea how that happened, but for some reason my thing was that he was going to be part of the Bad Batch.
Gotcha.
So I was so confused.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because the cadet episode.
Maybe, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because when they called themselves the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
It's interesting thing, yeah. So I'm super excited about this now. I think there's some cause and effect things are going to happen. We're going to talk about here in a little bit because of the Clone Wars coming back. But one of the main takeaways from me from this episode, before we get too deep in like the storyline, is they continue with Clone Wars to humanize the clones.
Yes.
Versus the films where they were just copy and paste, all the same thing.
The stormtroopers with faces.
Yeah, and now they've actually even more so given them personalities and traits and different things, even above and beyond the actual Bad Batch with their mutated whatever characteristics. But these characteristics of them and their personalities is even coming more to the front. So I'm excited to see more of that. So we'll kind of get into that, but
That kind of, if I can just interrupt, that kind of brings up what you're talking about there. Just kind of brings up, you remember at the beginning of every single Clone Wars episode, they have basically what amounts to like a little proverb, something that's going to connect with the overall story arc that's happening in that particular episode. And in this one, I can't remember it. I didn't write it down, so I can't quote it. But it says something to the effect of how you should embrace the differences of others to make your life more fulfilling. Yeah. So
one of those don't judge other things kind of deal because they're different. And
well, that's a big part of it. Yeah, but
or
just
like
how
our differences can help
to make us stronger.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Good call. Good call. We start off in this
serve to unite us and not divide us.
Exactly. We start off in this episode where they have a problem where the Separatists have a base on, let me back that up. The Separatists are having a really easy time defeating the clone army. Because they know the battle plans, they know the patterns, they know the whole, their tactics, and Rex is completely confused by all this, trying to figure out what is going on.
They've got an algorithm.
They've got an algorithm.
So clearly, they've got some millennials behind the scenes,
right?
Yeah.
They have millennial clone. Yeah, that could be
possible.
that.
Possible.
That would be.
That's not a
cool.
dig on millennials. I actually think millennials are really cool, but
that'd be cool if they're in the separatist group. Then
right.
if you're a separatist, I don't want to tell you, but it's interesting. They're really they're boggled as to why they keep losing, and Rex is scratching his head, going, "Hey, why? What's going on with this stuff?" And he comes up with this idea that he after looking at it, he came up with an algorithm of his own, I guess.
It's an algorithm or it's a conspiracy theory?
It was a theory.
It really is like, it's not half baked. He actually considered it, you can tell, but it straight up sounds like a conspiracy theory. Even he doesn't want to tell the Jedi because it sounds crazy. Frankly, it sounds crazy. So it straight up is a conspiracy theory. Go on.
It is, and he comes up with this thing that every time they do a new tactic, they're successful. And then they copy and paste that tactic over and over and over. The droids are winning. They're overcoming their tactics. And he pretty much comes to the conclusion that we should not do the same thing every time.
Yes.
Which I don't know that's really a giant leap in battle to not do the same thing every time.
That's not a giant leap in logic. Yeah, I think that that's how there were two factors at play here. One is that it's clear that the droids had some sort of an algorithm that was helping them to establish patterns in the clones' tactics.
Right.
But also there was something else on top of that leads them to think, or leads Rex to think, and not tell the Jedi this, that, can I say it?
Yeah.
That Echo is still alive.
Echo is still alive?
Yeah. Echo. ARC Trooper Echo.
Echo.
Yeah. Echo.
Right? Yeah.
Somebody had to say it.
And what Rex does is he goes back and he says, these are all... it's almost like a football team's got a playbook, right?
Right.
And he's like, these are all plays we drew up way back in our beginning days when I was with Echo, and only he would know these things.
Yeah.
And so he's, that back of the mind thing going, this is something weird here. Something's not right. I won't call it the Force, because it's not. It's just an inkling, I guess, if you will. And he goes, well, Echo's the only one here, but you're right. He doesn't want to bring it up because he's going to sound crazy, because everybody in the room that he would tell that to saw Echo die. Right?
It has all the elements of a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
There are things that are unprovable, but there are also elements that kind of bring established knowledge into doubt. Nobody saw Echo's body. They saw an explosion and they saw Echo's helmet, but they never saw Echo himself.
Right.
So that contributes to it. The fact that all of these tactics that have been compromised are tactics that Echo and Rex worked up together, that's another element. But everything else is purely just conjecture.
Right.
Yeah, at this point.
Did you guys go back and watch that episode where Echo died?
Yeah.
Did you go?
I just watched it like 2 days before.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a binge. I thought I tried to get through it before the first episode dropped.
This week's binge, not next week's binge.
I think I'm like 80 episodes into the saga out of, what are there? 120
something, yeah.
121 episodes in Clone Wars.
He'll have them done by the time you guys see this video.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, there's and I will mention, because we've mentioned in other live streams and other medias, that you should be watching Clone Wars in chronological order.
Yes.
To get the most out of it.
So Google Clone Wars chronological order,
yeah, and
you'll pull up a page on the StarWars.com website. It's the official listing of every episode in chronological order. Once you get up to season 4.
Yeah, it starts to go in order. Yeah,
it's all in sequence.
Yeah.
But the first 3 seasons, they were just convoluted as hell. They were all over the place.
They were like, "Oh, you're close to finishing that episode. Okay, here you go."
I kind of get the sense that it had to do with the creative teams not quite having things done in order.
Right.
Like, okay, this episode's not ready yet. Okay, we're going to push that one back, and we're going to release these three instead.
We have a deadline to release something. Let's throw this one out there.
Exactly.
And at that time, who cared? We was Star Wars.
And I get the impression that's how things go in animation sometimes.
Sure. Probably is. So he comes with a conspiracy theory. He thinks Echo's alive. He tells Cody this in his quarters, where he goes back and looks at this photo, this nostalgia photo of him and Echo and Heavy, I think, was in there, right? And he has this photo, which was interesting because we don't really see. I don't think we've ever seen a clone, even if it's a commander, captain, or whatever, like being nostalgic over like having photos.
Yeah,
when's the last time we have photos in Star Wars?
Yeah,
I can't replace a actual like a picture.
That's
in Star
interesting,
Wars. Isn't it? I don't know. Just a tangent.
Probably Rebels.
Yeah, I mean,
holiday special.
Yeah, holiday special, right? So that's one of those interesting things. But he goes back, he's telling Cody, and Cody goes, "Nah, I don't know about all that."
Because didn't Ezra have a picture of his parents?
Yes, Ezra has a picture of his parents. You're right.
That's true. Yeah. So there's a couple of them.
And Chewie's mom had a picture of him that they showed early on camera. Hey, where's this guy?
That was. Listen, we don't talk about that. That was bad.
You don't talk about that.
It was
when I was 6 years old. It was awesome.
It was awesome, right? Good. It was good stuff. He has this photo. He talks with Cody. Cody says, "I've got a plan. We need to go outside of our normal deals, and we need to I have a squad to go do a secret mission, if you will, not a whole army, just a squad, a team." And Rex goes, "Who is it?" And it's
Task Force 99.
Yeah, 99. If you don't remember 99, you want to clue us in on 99?
So a great episode. The cadets kind of shows a little bit of the training, what the clones go through before they went out to battle. Kind of, not every clone made it into the Clone Wars, so definitely a good episode to go back and check out. Kind of lays the foundation for the Bad Batch.
Right. So in that episode, which was Domino Squad, right?
Yes.
Domino Squad is in the training, and they're getting a really hard time from their trainer, their leader, who really could care less about them. And so they're training along, and they get help. They get encouragement from a discarded clone that had mutated, had something went wrong in the growth process. And his number was 99.
99.
And I don't know if that meant he was the 99th bad person.
I assume that he was like just much as
that early in the process, 99.
Yeah, right. He was way in. So but he turned out to be a hero, and he's the one that actually brought the Domino Squad together, talking about how they were brothers and they should band together. And he really wanted to be a soldier, but they wouldn't let him because of his issues.
Who was in Domino?
Echo. And Heavy.
Yeah, Heavy.
Yep. And Fives. So Fives was there. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to see Fives again. I think he's pretty much gone.
He's definitely gone. That's confirmed. I mean, they had a body and everything.
Yeah, so, he's gone. Gone. Poor Fives. He got screwed.
That was a real tragedy.
It was. He actually got a bad deal. But Echo was in that batch. Heavy was in that batch. We lost Heavy earlier on in the series, and then obviously
Clone Cadets episode.
And then Fives we lost, and he was trying to uncover the conspiracy of the chips and all that kind of stuff.
Wait, that wasn't Clone Cadets. Sorry.
No.
Ignore me.
I'm not even going to deduct points for that.
Thank you.
We're going to let that one slide.
Yeah. Recon something?
Because there's 121 episodes. It's okay. It's okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for understanding.
Well, we're going to not even deduct.
I'm so glad you're my friends.
But
they won't be as nice in the comments.
No. Right. Yeah, we know. It's okay. Yeah. But he talks about the Bad Batch in 99. And this was interesting. So I don't know if anybody out there in YouTube land caught this, but as a video game player in my youth, I don't have a lot of time now, but anytime you would put together a squad, you were playing a new game or you played with a team, you got to pick your avatar. You got to pick your qualities.
Yes.
And you would always have a tank. Mm-hmm. You would have a long-distance sniper guy. You would have a tech guy. And sometimes you would have a medic.
Yeah,
you would have a medic. And then you would have a scout. And we don't have a medic in this one, but they actually brought one along.
Yeah, think about Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so they had all these guys. So those you needed all of those abilities or characteristics to accomplish whatever mission you wanted. Mm-hmm. You'd send the tank out front. You'd have the sniper behind, knocking them out. You'd have the scout, kind of surveying the land. And they straight up built a video game in this episode.
Yep.
I was straight up what they did. They built a squad from video games, and it's in any game you play with that. One of the games I remembered playing way back when on the computer was called Jagged Alliance. I don't know if anybody will ever remember that. I don't even know if it was popular. It was way back, like computer. Anyways, it reminded me of that because I played it for a very long time. But you would send the tank up front to take all the hits, right? And then you'd stay behind the tank and you would shoot.
Snipe.
Right, and so they got this squad of people here, and we got some pretty cool names. And so the tank's name was Wrecker, which is apt, and his personality was that of a tank. Right? It was that.
Much, yeah.
It was like, hey, let's just go.
Let's just break everything and
Hulk smash.
Yes.
I mean, that was pretty much it.
He had the biggest cannon.
He had the biggest cannon. He lost an eye or something going on. I don't know what happened with his eye thing.
He doesn't need it. He has a second.
Yeah. It turns out that he's about as strong as the Hulk, so that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what mutation in the batch awarded that ability.
There'd be a multitude of things that would have to be going on. You'd have to have a much stronger skeleton. You would have to have just obviously stronger fibers in his muscles.
He was taller too.
He's taller.
Really
he took
bigger overall.
He had the bulk.
He took a pre-workout before the mission, and he was all hyped up on Mountain Dew. So
more than one pre-workout.
So we got Wrecker, then we've got the scout who was Hunter, right?
Yes.
And he was the Native American,
sort of the de facto leader,
right?
You know who he was? He was Billy from Predator.
Yeah, he had
right.
He had that
Rambo haircut.
Right?
The Rambo haircut. He had the long hair, he had the whole deal, and he was the wise leader.
With the ability to read the electromagnetic spectrum, is that what they said?
Yeah, he could feel the electromagnetic forces on the entire planet.
Yeah,
like not even within 10 feet, on the entire planet.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this dude is
like, how do you illustrate that?
He's going to be an X-Men,
right? Yeah, right.
The next X-Men movie. This guy's going to be there. But the personality, his trait was he was able to put up with the other people. I think that was him. He was able to tolerate the other people and bring them together.
I think that's straight up what they said, isn't it?
Yeah. He was the leader because he was able to put up. And then, of course, he had the
power to negotiate.
So that was cool. Then we had Tech, who reminded me, I don't know if you guys caught this, Tech reminded me of Donatello from the Ninja Turtles.
Right. With the
goggles and the whole thing.
Yeah, I never would have caught that, but yeah.
Yep, he reminded me of Donatello because Donnie's got all the tech stuff, got all the gadgets, and he's got the goggles. And I straight up was like,
everything, working the door.
Right. And I was like, that's cool.
Good call.
So we got him, and he was a pretty good dude. And then Crosshair with the straight up was Bullseye with the eye thing going on over.
Right.
So it was interesting how they pulled all these characters together and put them together, and they made a good team. And they said that they had never lost. They were 100%.
100% success rate.
So clearly, we should have seen them a long time ago.
Apparently morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They were winning other battles that nobody knew about.
They were doing so good that they were doing so well at keeping their secret missions secret that we didn't hear about them until
right.
Yeah.
They got on Cody's radar though.
Well, clearly Cody had used them before. So,
but Rex didn't know about them.
Yeah, Rex was.
Nope. So Cody's like way up there on the echelon.
Well, yeah, Cody. Commander's way higher than.
Yeah.
Commander's the next level up from Captain.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me.
He had the top secret information.
I didn't put that together until relatively recently.
Oh, that the commanders were
straight up did not put that together until relatively recently. I remember thinking when the clones were first coming out from episode 2 that the clone captains were the ones who were actually in charge, like the ones with the red stripes.
Right.
That they were over the ones with the yellow stripes. I don't know why I didn't put that together. I'm just dense that way. But yeah. Captain is not in military rank.
Right.
I want to say in like naval rank.
Well, there's no. Well, he had naval.
In naval rank, a naval rank commander would be below a captain. Yeah. But that's not the case in Star Wars.
Star Wars says we're gonna flip it.
Or in Battlestar Galactica, but that's another podcast.
I might even deduct points for bringing up Battlestar Galactica. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. If you had said Star Trek, we would have had to fight. But you know what I mean. So, I like Star Trek too. But I haven't seen the new Picard thing yet. I gotta watch that.
Oh, it's good.
But they get to they pick up. Cody says, "I got this bad batch." These guys land. They talk about all. They have a little meet and greet that goes as you would expect from
coming in hot.
That was great.
A cocky group of successful people, soldiers meeting Reg. That's what they called them, regular clones. And all the other clones were like, what? These aren't clones. What are you talking about? They don't look like us. They don't look like anything like us. So that was an interesting meetup. So clearly they had never seen him before.
It was really great to see I'll be damned, I cannot remember the name of the voiceover actor for who does the clones.
Oh, that does all the clones?
Does all the clones, yeah.
I don't remember either.
My head always goes to James Arnold Taylor, who does Obi-Wan, but it's not him.
No.
Anyway,
that would have been
apologies to that actor, because I'm usually on point with remembering things like that, but my brain's not what it used to be. That was some great range that he showcased.
Yeah, it was one guy did all the voices.
Yes.
Yeah, it was strong.
Yeah, I mean, and he always had this knack. He's always had this knack for delivering just a little bit of nuance, a little bit of subtle variations in the different clones that he's voiced, while maintaining the same intonations, the same pitch for all of them, because naturally, since they are clones, they are going to have the same vocal cords. It's their personalities that are going to shape those voices, shape their intonations, and make them each one of them different. But because of the nature of the Bad Batch, with their wider variety of mutations and changes and alterations, he's able to like cut loose, and he really did. I mean, there's clearly they sound marginally like the rest, but they're so far afield from the normal regs that he had to have a lot.
And
if
you want to see, there's actually a YouTube video about behind the scenes voiceover stuff by that guy, and he talks about the different personalities and how he shapes them. So YouTube it. It's out there. You can search for it.
I'll be YouTube
Clone Wars voiceover, and you'll see him. And
finish this video first, and then go YouTube it.
Yeah, don't do that yet. So they meet up the Bad Batch. Then they're going to go off on this mission, and they go to Anaxis. Which, if
we've seen before.
Well, Naxos we have seen before. Actually, we're there before the other one, though, right? Because timeline. Naxos is I don't know if at this point it was a planet still, or if it was a meteor belt or asteroid belt or whatever. Because the actual planet got destroyed at some point.
I'm thinking that it must have been a planet. I think it's still. It seems to me that it's still a planet right now.
It's kind of a thing.
So something must happen after this.
Yeah, what I read about it was all it said was a cataclysmic event. I don't know if the Death Star went over there for practice.
Testing.
I don't know, but whatever. The planet of Anaxis is actually very close to Coruscant, which is the home base of everything going on, Senate and all that kind of stuff. And so the Separatists are getting really close to, everywhere, the heart of the Republic, and it's a problem. So the clones they go, we need to solve this problem. So the Separatists have set up bases on Anaxis, and they're going to go take over this facility and get some information. It's kind of interesting.
Which I guess that helps set up the episode 3 battle, because if they're already getting that close, it makes sense that they could get ships in.
That was what I was thinking as well. Yeah, just strategically, it just seems like, okay, we know from the trailer
they're making a push.
Yeah, that this is going to be, this is the end. We're getting to the point where it's going to overlap episode 3.
Yes.
And we should call it what it is, because there's also episode 3 of Clone Wars season 7. But we should just go ahead and call it Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
And they're actually currently positioning the Federation strategically to launch that attack.
Right. It's going to be interesting. I'm ready for a pretty good battle here. Anakin shows up briefly for like 2 seconds in this episode when they have the little powwow meet and greet thing at the beginning. And
how great did he
debrief? He looked pretty solid.
I mean, not that I want to go pick out curtains with him or anything.
No, not curtains.
No,
maybe like some toys or something.
Maybe starfighters.
But do you see maybe a little bit of planting that seed, kind of separating him and Rex?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
It's
coming.
Was really nice and subtle, wasn't it?
Yep. It's strong.
Good call.
Got the longer hair look. Everything's going on, and we just see a lot of him, which was pretty cool, because in the previous episodes of Clone Wars, there's only a few episodes of Clone Wars I can recall where there's not a lot of Jedi present.
Right.
The Domino Squad one being one of them. Of course, there was Jedi in that one too. We had the
instructor.
The instructor. The general. Who was it? Shakti?
Yes.
Shakti. She was in that one. So, but this one was pretty much all clones. And they go to this planet, they land down, and they get pretty much shot out of the sky
Right away.
Right, and their gunship gets shot down, and Cody's hurt.
And apparently this happens a lot with the Bad Batch. It's not like this mars their 100% success record.
That's how they
get shot down a lot.
Yeah. That's how they land.
Yeah, get old record. He's just like, all right, we're going down.
He's like, we're in. It was pretty cool to see. They were not phased at all. They were like, yeah, okay, we're good. Now I don't know how they were planning on getting off the planet. I don't think they really cared.
Oh, they'll improvise.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they've got that sorted.
So they landed. Cody gets hurt in their little the crash. He gets hurt severely. Which is good because they brought along did they have a medic?
He's not even conscious for the entire episode.
No, he's
out.
He's like, I'm out.
Let's just go ahead and leave him right
he's
there.
Down.
That's
This is interesting. So I asked a question while we were getting coffee to these guys. And the question I asked of Cody was, should we feel bad for Cody? Should we sympathize for the clones that are getting injured and dying? Specifically Cody, at this point, because we know what's about to happen very soon between Cody and Kenobi.
And this is my favorite topic of conversation for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we, and what do you guys think? Yeah. Is there sympathy for Cody being injured? We spent all this time with him. We learned about him and Rex and their team and the personalities. We've grown up with these guys, essentially. And having the vision, future foresight coming up here, because we all have the Force. We know what's happening. Force visions of what's happening between these two guys. What do we think? What do you think, Kent? Should we feel bad that he got injured, or should we say, idiot, we're out of here. Screw you. I'm glad you're dead.
Screw you, future traitor.
We know he recovers because he has to shoot Kenobi, right? He has to shoot him or shoot at Kenobi.
It does take a little bit of the tension out of it, knowing that he's going to be okay.
Right.
But that happens. That's going to be across the board.
Right.
I have to say that even knowing what's going to happen to him, if you shoot it well enough, and if the storytelling is there, then you're going to feel a little bit of concern for the character, even if you know that they're going to exist in a future episode.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't know that I felt it that much.
No, I mean, same thing. You could say the same with Anakin. Like, Anakin's.
Yeah.
You know what's happening.
Anakin, Obi-Wan, all those guys. Spoiler alert. All these guys are going to survive until the end of season 7.
Right, yeah. So just, if you didn't know, if you've never seen a Star Wars film at all, then yeah.
Maybe it won't. Maybe Cody won't. Since they are going to be crossing over with Revenge of the Sith, maybe we're going to see what happens to Cody after he betrays Kenobi.
Ooh.
We might actually catch that.
I'd be okay with that. I think that would be cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
He's just following orders. I mean, he's a good trooper.
Or do you look at somebody throw it out this way? Or do you feel bad for him because he had no control over Order 66 because of the chip?
We saw in season 6, in the story arc in which Tup betrays the Jedi. His chip goes south. His chip malfunctions, and we caught a very real, hardcore look at the effect that chip had on the clones as soon as it was thrown.
Yep.
Yeah. So his attitude, his whole belief system, everything in him changed at that point.
Yep.
Through no fault of his own.
None of his own.
It's not like he was able to take a look at all the facts, have everything presented to him, and make his own judgments. He was told by that chip, released chemical patterns in his brain in such a way that it made him automatically distrust, fear, hate, and want to kill all Jedi that he came across. And he did.
And even Tup was fighting it.
Yeah.
You could tell him in that battle. Go back and watch the episode. It's pretty strong. Tup was fighting with it, and he had no control.
No.
He had none.
No.
And so, I don't know.
So with that in mind, I have absolute sympathy for Cody.
Okay.
Even after all the clones, even as they are gunning down the Jedi, it's the worst of tragedies. Probably more so for the clones, in a certain regard, than the Jedi. All things die.
Right.
But these
he had
guys,
no control over whatsoever.
Yeah, these guys had their free will taken from them. They had their entire belief system altered in a heartbeat by a phone call, essentially.
Right.
And I can't. If you told me that I had to choose one of two things, to be gunned down by my own troops, or to have my brain irrevocably altered by just a few words, then I would definitely choose death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kent?
crazy. Even in Rebels, finding Rex and the remaining clones, you can see that they still have issues with the programming. So, and then it'll be interesting. I don't know if we'll see any more of the effects of like the clones getting phased out of the Empire. But even like the Empire, they were pretty much like, yeah, they're old. We're done with them. Like, see ya, clones.
Well, that had part of it because of their their enhanced growth. Right, they had to. So essentially, if a normal clone or human at that time lasted 100 years, then they were sped it up so they could develop faster. So they have a half-life.
Yes.
Right.
Essentially, that's why Rex was so old. All the clones were so old in Rebels.
Right. So half-life going on there. They have let's call it a 50-year lifespan for clones. The clones we saw in the trailer that the clones have their own thoughts about the Clone Wars.
Yes.
And they wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Clone Wars.
Yes.
And
it's a conundrum.
It's a weird philosophical dilemma.
Yes.
All right.
Existential crisis.
It's crazy. So I know that's a little bit of a tangent, but
Cody, this is stuff that's worth talking about.
Cody right here, being injured here and seeing him, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was like, cool.
You're cutthroat.
I'm like, dude, hey man, you're gonna now knowing what's already gonna happen. I already knew, like you said, I already knew he was gonna recover, no question about it. But he clearly wasn't very much help on this mission, and nor did they need him.
We had a similar episode like that with Rex that actually started his own story when he met up with Cutlaw Quain in that episode. And I think we talked about that episode a couple of JavaJawaJaw episodes ago. Right. But I mean, that's fine. I'm kind of comfortable with him bowing out and having, since Rex is definitely going to be the principal clone in this season. This kind of gets Cody a little bit out of the way and lets Rex take over. And he no longer has to... See, if Cody was still around... then Rex would have no option but to obey Cody's orders.
Right.
But with Cody down, Rex is in command now, and he has to come to his own reckoning with the Bad Batch.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask a follow-up question. Why was Rex never promoted to commander?
Timing.
Timing?
Just timing.
I mean, it's not like they had more. I mean, obviously some had more skills than others and whatever, and brain. There's differences, but he clearly was a formidable leader. I don't know. I could formulate a theory on that in a hurry.
Okay. Now I have no military background whatsoever, and almost no knowledge of military tactics and the structure of the chain of command and all that kind of stuff. What leads people to being promoted? But it almost seems to me like there are probably guys out there, probably soldiers out there who are comfortable with their position in that hierarchy. Right. And it seems to me that Rex might be one of those people.
He likes being on the ground.
Yeah, like you've got Cody above him. Mm-hmm. Cody's a very effective military commander for the Republic.
Absolutely.
And Rex, as one of his seconds in command, is very, very good at that job. So you've got a perfectly functioning unit. Mm-hmm. Why alter it? Why take
might be the case.
Rex out from under Cody and elevate him to exist parallel?
Maybe, and maybe Rex, and maybe you're right. Maybe Rex just likes being on the ground, fighting people, doing the whole thing. And
he's very good at it.
So maybe not. Maybe
if you swap out Cody with Rex in that Kenobi scene, Rex would have took the shot where Cody just commands them to fire on Obi-Wan.
Oh, that could be.
Mm-hmm. Rex would have been more hands-on.
Yeah, you're right.
He would have taken care of it personally.
Yep. Boom. That definitely fits his, So maybe that's it, yeah.
Interesting thing. What do you guys think?
While Rex is talented enough and definitely has the knowledge and skills to be an effective commander, he does work really, really well as the point man.
Yep, it's a true story. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on that. But we'll dive back into the storyline here. The guys go through here. They have a battle coming, have an army of droids coming towards them. Rex goes, hey, we need to get out of here and take a position and kind of like snipe at them a little bit. And Wrecker's like, no, that ain't what we do. I think it was Wrecker said that that's not how we operate. And then they come up with some plan, which is like number 82.
Just like charge.
No, they were like execute, strategy 82 or something like that. And it was a pretty good plan.
Wrecker was wrecking, and
He was
everybody was behind him taking their shots when they when
was
it was
great,
their
man.
time.
That was like they should have taught that tactic to other clones.
I'm just going to pick up half of a spaceship and put it in front of us.
Right.
Then you guys are just going to take shelter and. Yeah.
And then they're going to throw the shot grenades at them, and sniper Crosshair's going to snipe them and just destroy all the EMP
cool.
grenades or whatever they were.
Tech was
droid
figuring out the angles and where to put the explosives and.
Done, man, and they worked as a team.
It's like you were saying, they're a cohesive video game team.
Yep, it worked great. So they took out all of them, and with no, we found out later, with no Jedi help needed.
Got the first wave of these guys out of the way.
Boom, these guys are out of here. So the droid poppers, right? And so they just knock them out, and they move on down the road, and they go to their first little command post to figure out what's. It's almost like a smaller post that gets to the larger post, and they're just kind of working their way along. Mm-hmm. And then we get a look into Trench.
No, Trench.
Trench is trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, that guy won't die.
Nope, he's back.
Did anybody notice the improvement in the quality of the look of Trench?
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be around a minute.
Yeah, he just looks. I mean, they had like these little tattoo kind of things going on all over his pinchers and whatnot, and he just he looked a bit more menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in addition to that?
All over the place, man. The graphics quality is definitely improved.
Was that Rex that had the face tattoo thing going on?
Rex?
No,
that
who was the other guy?
That was Jesse.
Jesse. Okay,
Jesse.
I was like, well, they had the same. I guess they're the Fire first too, but
yes.
But he had the face tattoo thing going on of the logo, yeah. And I was like, that's a cool tattoo, but that would suck to get.
Yeah.
But that's more of their personalization.
Suck even more to have it removed.
Right. Yeah. So, but they're adding details, just like you said, to this, and it's almost like because they had some of this stuff done back in the day, that they just kind of went and kind of stepped it up a notch.
Yes.
And
built some layers
for this final season. They said, "I was just throwing some extra textures and colors and whatever." It's pretty nice.
It's going to be. If we can talk just another couple more seconds about the more technical aspects of this episode, and then the next 2 episodes on top of it. I think there's 3 episodes in this story arc, but I do notice that not a lot has changed insofar as like the composition and the movement and whatnot is concerned. That's still kind of, they haven't really kicked that up. They didn't really do a whole lot with that because most of these things were laid out before the show was canceled back in 2013.
So we get to the outpost, the final outpost, and they've got to get in this. They're trying to figure out the algorithm. They're trying to figure out this. They're trying to download or steal. It's like a heist kind of deal, and they're trying to get this algorithm back to figure out how they can, defeat these separatists. And they get into there. They actually overtake the outpost rather easily.
Yes.
Like none of the battles they had were very difficult for them.
No.
They just kind of
they're just that competent.
Yeah, they run in there. So they get into there.
Random battle plans.
Yeah, they don't. There's no plan. They're just like, hey, let's go left, let's go right, whatever. Throw some stuff. They get in there, and Rex goes in there, and Tech hooks up to the outpost, and they start hearing this message, and he goes, "It sounds human." And then Rex is going, "There's no way that's possible."
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Rattling off Echo's number.
Right, the number. They get back, and Tech asks him what that number means, and it was CT-1409. Is that right?
I don't remember.
I think that's right.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I think it's CT-1409.
1409.
Look, I'm fairly certain that's right.
Okay.
I might even get 5 points for that. But he goes in there, and Rex says, "Well, that's the code name for Echo." That's his clone name, Echo. So that tells him Echo is alive in some form or fashion, and that's when the episode ends. And it's just like a cliffhanger. So the next episode...
Plus 5 points.
Oh, plus 5 points.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Yes.
I'm lucky if I can remember R2-D2 half the time.
So they get in there. Echo's alive. We don't know what's going on. And the conspiracy here is why is this number being broadcast? What's happening here? I have a thought about this.
You have a thought about this?
I have a thought.
Okay.
I have a thought. So the Separatists got...
because I can't reveal anything.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, Separatists have Echo. Mm-hmm. Echo has an inhibitor chip, and I think they flipped the switch. And
okay.
I think Echo is giving inside information, because they flipped the switch on Echo, and that's what I think. So I don't know. What you got any thoughts on that?
A little bit of a teaser. I didn't watch the full storyboards, but I think what I read was the original storyboards. The story was more of Rex maybe thinking that they had like a decoder or something from Echo. So his initial thought was, there's something to do with Echo. So then it's a surprise that it's totally Echo. And again, they're in Rex's head because he worked on this stuff with Echo, and Echo knew his strategies. So
it's coming along.
They've tapped into Rex, and he's not happy about it. Getting personal.
Yeah, so that's my theory. I don't know.
And I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm glad you came here to hear nothing. That's good. So that's what we got going on next week, guys. Disney Plus dropping again on Friday. We will be back. Stay tuned for JavaJawaJaw. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you on the discussion we had today. So comment down below. Also, if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram. We're there at JavaJawaJaw, and we got some pretty cool stuff going on there, and some future things going on. So. We're
building momentum with the Instagram.
We're getting
Instagram page.
It's coming along, right? We got some photos. We're gonna have some fun with these guys. Have some photos with droids. We got all kinds of other stuff. I'm excited. As a last note, for the new toys we're gonna get from season 7 of Clone Wars. They're gonna drop some new stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm hoping they drop some more vehicles, right? If they re-release the gunship,
at the very least, I think you can count on there being a Bad Batch. And God, Hasbro, come on, pay attention to that aftermarket price, dudes. Let's get a re-release of that gunship. I'll buy one.
Yes,
straight up.
I want a gunship, the Beetle Walker, the ATT. We're talking about that. Obviously we need all the
retail on that when it came out. The Beetle Walker.
It had to be expensive.
It had to be. It's
huge.
$80. Easy.
It's huge.
$80, $90. If they're selling the Chicken Walker for $80 now,
it's
that
strong.
Thing had to be.
Had to be up there, and we want them. So bring them on, Hasbro. We're not afraid of 6-inch, 3 3/4. Don't care.
Cool.
It's gonna be awesome. So guys, thank you for sticking around with us as always.
We have spoken.
We have spoken. See ya.
Oh, we should really leave this one alone, but it keeps coming back, coming back.